Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. Welcome to Wrestling with Entertainment. I'm James J. You are,
Coleco Yates, what's going on, world?
and um, it's been a pretty good first week of the show. I've gotten great feedback, right? And we're kicking off on a high note, I think.
Yeah, I think it encapsulated a lot of people's opinions. A little off the rails there, here and there, but that's what happens with the intro. It's
Exactly. But
kind of like
we have one major topic to cover this week, right? And that is will be wrestling with the New Japan Cup 2019. And we're already 6 days into the cup, and it's been some pretty good matches, some shockers, some bracket busters already.
yeah. I must admit, the like we said last week, the one thing New Japan is really good on is going against the grain. Just when you think something's gonna go one way, it just they take it another way, and that's the one good thing we like about it, especially when wrestling's unpredictable. And it's hard to argue what better company is more doing really good at that than New Japan. So
I don't know if you saw it yet, but the Wrestling Observer did a poll on the best companies and the worst companies. WWE was scored the lowest company and had the worst 2018, and New Japan was scored the highest and had the best 2018.
and and that would make sense. I mean, WWE is that company where they try to please everyone, and as the old saying goes, when you try to please everyone, you please no one. So um, it's more of an entertainment, more of a kid friendly show. Um, New Japan, the storylines are more adult themed. Um, they handle storylines better. They know how to pick it up and take it off, and they know when to cool it down. Prime examples: Okada, Omega.
Yeah,
WWE probably would have had them face off 5 times in a row already, and they had them
probably
face off what 4 times in what 3 4 years. So
about yeah.
they made the match worth it.
Definitely, they definitely give you that. It when it builds up, they give you the match that you expect.
Yeah.
So let's start with night one, the opening match. Nakanishi versus Yoshihashi. The match was 12 minutes and 26 seconds, and Yoshihashi won with the butterfly lock.
Uh, like I said, Yoshi's one of those guys where he can he'll do respectable. It's just a matter of we already know second round. I'm expecting second round, not so much. So I mean, it's the same thing that he does in the G1. He's respectable, but no one's really gonna take him serious.
Is 2 wins really respectable in the G1? Because that's what like he got.
Yeah.
He's
So
be he's fluttering at this point, and I don't know if they're just trying to go with him for the sake of going with him, or they're waiting just to drop him.
I think he's better for the second round matchup. He's a good hand. He's a good wrestler. But I'm just thinking his second round opponent. It's probably
It's
going to
Chase
be
Owens.
yeah. So to me, that's Chase Owens' time to shine. Considering Chase Owens got a win over Juice
Juice Robinson.
Robinson, which is a stunner in itself.
We'll
But
get to that match. We're 2 matches behind that. But
so we'll
yeah, he has I'm not saying that he's not a bad wrestler. He just lacks the confidence, and he's just not charismatic at all.
But then again, his character. That's the thing. What is his character? What is he supposed to be?
He's the
I
headhunter.
mean, I mean, he's just to me. Ever since I started watching New Japan, even with Yoshi, it's like, what is he supposed to do? Like Ataru Yano, I know his role. I
Yeah,
know what he's gonna do. Ishii, I know his role. I know what he's gonna do. Kota Ibushi, Naito, everyone has a defined like role, and Yoshi's is more fluid than anyone else's.
I get that. The next match is Homa versus Taichi. The match was 17 minutes and 54 seconds, and Taichi won with the Holy Emperor's Crucifix Tomb.
Taichi, I mean, this is kind of a filler match. We kind of
I
we
fucking hate
kind of
Taichi.
figured who was gonna win. So
I mean, he has no business being in this tournament. He he has no, like, every time they give him a chance, like, he fucks it up. Like, I can respect somebody that has Goto and Naito down in the ring in the first 5 minutes, and he's so self-indulgent he doesn't capitalize on that and win.
what if that's part of the plan? See, that's the thing. I mean, Taichi's one of those guys that they hate. So I mean,
What do you think about Homo's mask?
that's about it. That's the only thing you like about Taichi. But but Taichi, it like I said, it's just filler. I mean, they got to have some of these people to make it seem like it's a respectable tournament. You know what I mean? You got to give everyone a chance.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like
even though
when you have
I feel
guys
like
like
Taichi,
Nakanishi and Homa, like you kind of know that they're only there to get beaten.
I mean, who else would you substitute for him? Because I could make the argument that a Tamatonga could sub for him and
Oh, without a
make
doubt.
a good run like he did in the G1. So I mean,
Yeah, they
it's
have
just what.
guys that they could have filled those spots, but sometimes I feel like these guys are cheaper.
Yeah, but that's how it is with the G1 as well. They have the same guys in it, and I mean, Tamatonga complained about it. The same people. It's no really new bloods, and they're not really giving anyone a chance. So I mean, it's the same thing with this. It's just people are there just to take the pin to the bracket. So
Hmm.
that's
Well,
just the way that Gato books it. But because we already know who the stars are, so you know.
that brings us to our next match: Juice Robinson versus Chase Owens. The match lasted 22 minutes 36 seconds, and Chase Owens won by a package pile driver. This is just kind of funny on my part because we were just talking last week how Chase was the lovable loser of Bullet Club.
Yeah, the guy taking the pin, and somehow he beats the United States champion. So that lets me know he's going to get a title shot down the line. That
Exactly,
puts him
he's
as a,
set already. He even if he doesn't win the tournament, which we know he's not,
but he gets.
he gets a championship match.
And to me, I guess this is the chance that he gets to shine. I mean, he's really good. He's man, so it's this is his chance, and just don't blow it. I mean,
And in
for
the
so
match,
far,
he dominated this match mostly. He gave it to Juice and he kicked Juice's ass. Like this
that
was
he
like
did
75% Chase, 25% Juice.
right. And this is what I was telling you last week, as far as like those guys that are dual ROH guys, like because I'm pretty sure Juice is too busy here in Vegas getting ready for his 17th anniversary with the lifeblood thing. So, I mean, you could make the argument he's probably looking for more towards that and kind of look past his opponent. You can make that argument.
That's true.
But I mean, Chase got the win. He's going to get the title shot. So no matter what, he's solidified himself as a player. Now, how far he goes is the bigger question.
Yeah,
Because
but I definitely think he showed that he could get a big win when it mattered, and this definitely mattered.
yeah, it mattered. You're right. The G1 it matters. So, but and he could go further considering he got Yoshi. So he might go further than what we think. So
The
there
next
could be a chance he's the new next champ. So
I wouldn't put it that far, but let's go to the next match. Yuji Nagata versus Tomohiro Ishii. These guys beat the shit out of each other. In 21 minutes and 34 seconds, Tomohiro won with a brain buster.
wouldn't have it any other way with those two. I mean, if anything else, those two are going to be the stiffest, strong style wrestling match you'll probably saw in this round.
Well, Nagata
Ishii,
is on the older side, and for him to have these barn burners still and be in the main event, and that's just kudos to him.
yeah. I mean, it's even more kudos for Ghetto to trust him to get that. You know what I mean? So, because
Yeah,
in an age where your body could betray you at any moment, especially at that age, and he really brought it. So I'll give him that much.
and
So he gets double the kudos just for being A of that age and B taking that
and
serious of a beating.
yeah, and after the match, Nagata actually looked better than Ishii did. Like Ishii looked like he was half dead, and Nagata looked like he could go an extra 10, 20 minutes.
That's a respect. I mean, that's the thing. It's telling the story where it's like you're the old man. I should be beating you down, and the old man pretty much pushes you to the limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the vibe that I got from that match. It was just more like, hey, dude, like I'll break you in half. I'm in my prime, and it's just showing the old lion giving that one last like
it is worth mentioning that
vigorous.
Tomohiro Ishii isn't on the younger side either. He's almost in his 40s, if not in his 40s already.
Yeah, but as far as his body taking, like as far as like what his body wise, he's probably in better shape, way better shape than Nagata. I'll give him that.
Probably.
Like
Next,
miles. But
the next match, night two was Toei Hanare versus Lance Archer. The match lasted 11 minutes and 11 seconds, and Archer won with the blackout.
11 minutes. That tells you what that this match was not worth it.
Yeah, like Hanare, like was there. This was kind of like a buy for Archer, I suppose, because Hanare hasn't had that definitive win yet.
True, but it just depends on what they're gonna do with them after. A lot of these people, you kind of got an idea of where they're gonna go after this tournament,
Yeah,
and
but like Hanare, like going back to the Chase Owens match, like you didn't that should have been a buy for Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson should have won that match. Right, but when you see Chase Owens win that match, you could maybe like make the case for Hanare, like, oh well, there already been one upset.
that's true. But I mean, but Chase Owens is beating the dual ROH guy, and it's they're giving him a shot. Like I said, not everyone's going to get their turn yet. Everything is always about timing, you know.
Yeah,
It's not his time yet. Chase Owens put in the dues, so it's about his time. We'll see what they're going to do with him after, down the line, but you could only push so many people, to make them respectable. Now, New Japan makes every match kind of matter in a sense, but but also they kind of throw them away in those 8-man, 6-man tags as well. So
Yeah.
Owens paid his dues in those 8-man, 6-man tags, you know.
Oh,
So
without a doubt. Like he was, like for the last two G1s, he was in there every single night.
yeah. So I mean, he paid his dues. It's his due. So like we said, we could only push so many, you know. So
Yeah.
not everybody's going to be at the top. Some are going to be stuck at the mid. Some are going to be stuck at the bottom. It's just a revolving door. Like eventually, it's just going to rotate.
The next match is Mikey Nichols versus Hikuleo. The match lasted 8 minutes and 55 seconds, and Mikey won with the Mikey Bomb. I was kind of, I kind of was going for Hikuleo. I thought like maybe they would give him a bit of a push, because considering it's his return. But Mikey Nichols just came in, from NXT actually. He was a part of TM61, so they're giving him this push, I guess.
Yeah, you know, capitalizing on the guy that just left the hottest American developmental brand is. So I mean, the one thing with TM61 is we never got to see him individually. So this is his chance to shine individually.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think they've ever had singles matches.
I mean, they've had, but the problem is they faced each other. That was the issue. They faced each other, and they were like, "Hey, we make a good tag team, so let's go that way."
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
so so this is not only his chance, but his partner's chance, Shane Thorne, to do his thing. So we'll see how they go at it apart. Considering that he left NXT mainly because he had his kid and he just wanted to be a dad, and who can't fault him for that one. So
Yeah. And Hikuleo just looks like a bigger, less less angrier version of Tamatonga. Like,
I kind of get that. It doesn't have Tonga swagger though, because Tonga's
no,
swagger
yeah.
is on 10,000. But yeah, I can see it.
Well, he is the big little brother.
Of course, he. And the one thing I always say, them Samoans, man, they always got one coming down the pike. It just doesn't even matter. Like
And it is worth noting that Hikuleo is blood brothers with Tamatonga, while Tangaloa is only blood by cousins.
right. Hey,
That's
blood that blood is blood though. And he's got the blood, which means he's got the DNA, which means he might be up next. It's not his time now. Give him a couple years because eventually all these people are going to phase out. The
I'm really hoping they pull the
Ishis.
trigger with Tangaloa because he's just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Oh god, he is so awesome.
Next match, Will Ospreay versus the Rogue General, Bad Luck Fale. The match was 11 minutes and 30 seconds, and Will Ospreay won with a 4 Corona. It's worth noting that all this information is coming from New Japan's official American website, NJPW 1972, 74.
Yeah.com. I'm disappointed. I thought this match would have went further because the one thing that I remember Kenny saying was that Bad Luck Fale is the one to watch. And I don't know if New Japan doesn't see that in that light, but Fale should be a lot more formidable than what he is.
And
And,
it's
and
pistolating on my part because I'm a big Fale fan, and he
oh
didn't
yeah,
technically lose this match. His shoulder was so far above the mat, it's not even funny.
and I don't know what they're gonna do with Fale. I mean, he should be a dominant guy. Like Osprey should have no chance. I don't care how buff or how much weight he put on. Fale should be. you should be able to rip him in half in no time. Um, but this is coming from a guy that loves Fale. I love the way he talks. I love the way he's real. He's genuine. He's authentic. And I just don't know what they're gonna do with him. I get it that there's only so many people, but when you got a big guy like that, a guy of that size who can move and who can just toss people like with no abandon, it I don't
It's
know.
it seems like they're going with Osprey right now because he's pretty hot and he's a junior that's fighting heavyweights. Uh, but and that would be okay if his head wasn't so swollen with it. Like he fully thinks he's king shit at this point.
I mean, what you expect? He went from juniors to heavyweight, wrestled Okada. Uh, so I mean, you kind of see it. I mean, what else do you expect from Will Ospreay? Although no one like everyone, there's a crowd that likes him or a crowd that totally hates him. It's just really polarizing.
I
So
think
I
I'm
get your
on the
point. They're
latter of that.
capitalizing. But, I don't see him winning this tournament.
Yeah. The next match, Kazuchika Okada versus Michael Elgin. The match went 24 minutes and 6 seconds, and Okada won with the Rainmaker. It kind of feels like Elgin um, is he gives his all and he gives his best, and he gives 100% every single time, and it's literally never enough for him. He always loses.
Yeah, but New Japan, when it comes to Gaijins, I mean, they're gonna take Okada over Elgin. I mean, Okada is really good. He's only like 30. He was longest reigning IWG heavyweight champion. Uh,
But but the last like 3 matches that they've had against each other, uh, Okada won all 3. Like Elgin has yet to pick up a win over Okada.
so you think they're running it like the one guy that's got your number type deal? You know?
Maybe, but like Elgin, like he beat the shit out of Okada. Like this was Elgin's match to win, and but like it was like one rainmaker and the whole match was over.
Well, we already know there's only a certain group of people that could get out of one rainmaker. So
And that's but like he didn't do nearly as much damage to Elgin as Elgin did to Okada. And I don't know, that just makes me look at Elgin like they look at him like he's garbage because when he goes for like a championship or a singles match, like you're gonna say, you know.
I mean, he was the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, so it's not like he's, you know what I mean? It's not like he's slaw.
But
He's not like
that was like 2, 3 years ago.
true,
He won
but
another belt and held it for a week last year.
that is true too. But that's just how Elgin is. Elgin's that guy where, like they say, the serviceable hand to make everything look good.
Mm.
Uh, just not the right guy to beat. Like, if I mean, the crowd already knows it's Okada. It just had to be Okada.
Um,
The the young, good looking former champion who's pretty much held the company down for the last 2 3 years.
well, that brings us to our next match. Tenzan versus Taguchi. The match lasted 12 minutes and 8 seconds. Taguchi won with a ghetto clutch.
Next match.
I don't know if it's going to be too much better. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shota Uno. The match lasted 16 minutes and 48 seconds, and Tanahashi won with a Texas Cloverleaf.
It's the Ace. Got to make Ace look good, especially after losing the title. So,
Uh,
yeah.
I would like just to say like it had took Tanahashi 16 minutes to beat Shota Uno, a young lion.
Give the Lion some shine. I mean, Tanahashi is up there. I
But
mean,
I
he's not
mean,
gonna.
like it seemed like Tanahashi wasn't using his full effort to actually wrestle Shota. Like he was at 40% effort level.
Maybe there's something going behind the stage where he just didn't want to fight that guy. I mean, considering that you got bloody the first round match of Ibushi and Naito. I mean, hey, I get this guy. Like it's one of those things where the one thing New Japan does good with that is making people like, okay, don't look past that guy. You know,
That's true.
like any given night, anyone can beat anybody, and that's the one good thing that's why people love the New Japan.
I mean, even
It's
though it was a bypass for Tanahashi, they still had a respectable match that
right.
people could enjoy.
Right, and that's the good thing about New Japan. Any given it's the any given Sunday. You know, anyone can any night anyone can be hot, and that's the good thing about it. It's not like WWE, which is where they kind of stick with 4 or 5 people for a certain amount of time. So
Yeah. It is worth mentioning that Shota, his father, is Red Shoes Uno. So I was kind of hoping for some maybe controversy, considering his father was the referee for this match.
that would be the obvious though. So you gotta kind of let him pay his dues. Look, they'll get there.
Yeah,
It has to get there.
it would make
But
sense
not
if they got
not
there.
now. Now, if they had a went there that match, that would have been the talk of the tournament. so,
That's true, but
so
like maybe just maybe like a look or something to indicate that they might do something down the road, but I didn't get a sense of that.
nah. Fresh Shoes is too light. He's the most respectable ref they got.
That's true.
Don't ruin the ref, man.
Next match, King of Darkness, Evil versus Zack Sabre Jr. The match lasted 15 minutes and 33 seconds, and Zack Sabre Jr. won, but hurrah, another year, surely this one will be better than the last. The intoxicable march of progress will lead us all to happiness.
Zack Sabre Jr., man, he he has a body that he should not be in these matches. But somehow he's in these matches. He's beats them. He's the defending champ. So
He only
I
wins these
mean,
matches because he whines and bitches and moans until they let him win.
I mean, there's a point there, but I mean, it's not like he's beholden to New Japan either. You know what I mean?
I feel like he
Uh,
only shows up and comes whenever they say, okay, we're gonna put you over.
uh, uh we're gonna have to go back to the Rolodex for that one because looking at his matches, um, considering him being a Suzuki Gun, it's not like it's almost a guarantee, but not that guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But Evil once again, it seems like they're probably gonna put him in a tag. I don't know what they do with Evil because it kills me that Evil looked so good in the G1 against Bloody Okada, and it's just he they put him in a tag, he gets the title, but
Yeah,
singles, it's an ebb and flow type deal. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know.
So
It's I was really hoping like Evil would go further in this tournament. I I thought maybe like they would maybe go like to the third or fourth round, maybe even a finals match, just to make them look good.
then again, I thought a lot of people would have looked good, but But the one thing I noticed, it's with what they do with these matches or even these events, it's either all good for one faction or all bad for one faction. It's never like we broke 500. We're pretty good, but it's either all good or all bad. So I don't know if like that's something that's noticeable, but
It kind of is. Yeah. I was
you know,
think of it this way. Chaos had 8 members in this tournament.
true chaos. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a
And
lot.
Suzuki Gun had 5. And Bullet Club and LIJ only had 3 each.
Exactly. And when they had three, think about it. Naito out, Evil out,
Yeah.
Sonata gone. I mean,
Oh,
well, no,
Tanada
he's
won his
still in.
match.
Never mind.
Yeah.
He's still in. So two, 1 and 2. You know what I mean?
And Bullet Club, Farley out, Hikuleo out, Owens in.
Owens in. Yeah. So it's almost I don't know. I don't know if that's something that Gato notices, but that you know what I mean.
Well,
People,
when
is it
Geto was a part of Chaos, it kind of made sense. Like, okay, there's 8 guys in the tournament. That's Chaos. That's Geto. Oh, he's showing favoritism. Uh, but now he's Bullet Club. So you would kind of think, shouldn't have Bullet Club had 8 members instead of
right?
Chaos?
But they only got three and only one advanced. So
I
it's
just heard
not
a
making the club
conspiracy theory that Geto booked 8 of the Chaos guys so they would fight each other to make friction in that stable. What do you think about that?
friction. Let's see. Okada is allegedly the undisputed leader, but when have you really seen Chaos like function as a whole unit? You know what I mean? Like Bullet Club, you'll see like all 30 of them go out and wrangle somebody. Suzuki Gun, you'll do the same thing. Um, Lij, I like them because it's only five,
6
maybe
at this
six.
point.
Give five, maybe six, considering that our other guys on the shelf. But everybody else is like, with the exception of Bullet Club, like it's not that many people. So
And Chaos has a lot of members, and they just added Mikey Nichols. Um, and but they're kind of in like a flux right now with GBH and Taguchi Japan, where they're all kind of mixed together. And Tanahashi is like teaming with Okada regularly, which is like, I mean, it made sense at that time, but like now it's like, why are they tag teaming together? There's no point to this.
yeah, but I'm thinking that's just something they didn't think of. You know, I mean,
Maybe
you
some
would think
a lazy booking by Gato at this point.
possibly, you know, especially considering that they're trying to build their biggest star, which is the champ right now. They're trying to make him a lot credible, Jay White. So
Yeah.
I
Next
mean,
match, Kota Ibushi versus Tetsuya Naito. The match lasted 20 minutes and 38 seconds, and Ibushi won with the Kamagoye.
Ibushi's the next contender.
Yeah,
I love Naito, and God, I love Naito. He's just so good. He's so fluid, and and just if anyone has a chance, go to YouTube and look up the rise and fall of Tetsuya Naito.
yeah, I
You will
seen
have
that.
a you will have a whole different respect for that guy, especially considering where he came from. But he plays a role. He took a loss. I mean, the G
He doesn't
one.
take a lot of
He,
them.
I mean, but he takes a loss, but it's a loss that won't kill him. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean,
and this is like a
he's big,
major rivalry between him and Ibushi. Like they've had
right?
these wars before, and the last
r-
2 times I think Naito beat Kota.
right. And that's why I was going with it. It was just more like he's at that point where he really doesn't need a belt. Like he doesn't need a win. He doesn't need a cup. He doesn't need a G1. He doesn't. He's over as is. So him winning the G1 won't elevate him bigger than what he already is. I
Yeah.
get it.
And like Kota Bushi, it kind of seems like he's positioned to win the whole tournament at this point.
Yeah, the I mean, before he went to experimented in NXT and did everything he's supposed to have been the next big thing. So I mean,
Yeah, if
I, I,
you haven't already, there's a interesting interview with Kota Bushi on the New Japan official English site. That's worth a look.
hmm, little primer out there for everyone.
Yeah. Next match, Toru Yano versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. The match lasted 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and Yano won with a Geary.
Ah, the comedy filler. I mean, we love Yano, but we know what he's there for.
True, but like it kind of this match kind of shows you where Davey Boy Smith and Lance Archer are positioned. Because like Lance Archer got to the next round, Davey Boy Smith didn't.
True, considering that Davey Boy Smith loses, Archer gets a win. He's on in the next round. Yeah, I can agree with that assessment. I don't know what they're gonna do with Davey Boy Smith Jr. Like it.
Like I mean, like he should be. He acts like a tough guy, but like I don't. He doesn't like come off that tough. Like he has the ability. He wrestles like nobody's business. But like he tries to act like Lance Archer, and like nobody acts like
Nobody's
Lance
Lance
Archer.
Archer. He should be Lance Archer Jr. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
And going back to Lance Archer, did you see that he did old school all the way across the ropes onto the next pair of ropes?
Yeah.
I thought that was
Like,
awesome. That was
yeah,
definitely
that
the highlight of that match.
yeah, that's the that is true. The highlight of the match right there. Lance Archer doing an old school all across the ropes. Shows you like these guys are like uberly athletic, willing to do it, and
It's
it's
impressive, but Bobby Heenan could have done it all four sides. I'm just saying. Next match, Togi Makabe versus Colt Cabana. The match lasted 7 minutes and 26 seconds, and Colt Cabana won with Superman. This is probably upset number two.
yeah, considering Cole Cabana, he seems more like a ROH guy than a New Japan guy. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's yeah, it's interesting how Juice doesn't make it, but Colt Cabana does.
yeah, but I think because considering he's going against Yano second round, am I right?
Yeah,
So that's going to be the ultimate comedy match. So it's the comedy match of the tournament.
yeah.
Get
Um,
all your laughs now because it's going to get serious as the rounds go further.
yeah. The next match, Kojima versus Minoru Suzuki. The match lasted 13 minutes and 43 seconds, and Suzuki won with the God style pile driver. Um, Learned a lot of information about in this match. Like, Kojima was the leader of Suzuki Gun before Suzuki took over.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
and and that just it just shows you like it's a little history, a little backstory, a little bit more emotion into the match. It kind of gets you to buy into the match, hoping Kojima gets the revenge. But
Well,
at
these
the
guys
end of the
beat the
day,
hell out
says
of each other.
yeah, and that's another guy who takes a lick and it keeps on ticking. Like Suzuki, it's like he's fine wine, man. He gets better with age. Like that guy is, it's
He's
crazy.
he's 50 years old at this point, and I have never seen like a mark or a welt or anything red on his body. Against Kojima, Kojima busted open his chest. So that just shows you
Yeah,
how tough Kojima is.
yeah. That shows you how hard hitting he is,
Yeah,
and that. But it also just shows you how much like Suzuki's willing to take too. Like you chop a 50-year-old man right now, he might have a heart attack, and this guy is like taking it like it's breakfast with eggs. You know what I mean? Like so.
definitely. Uh, like the Dolph Ziggler gave Jerry the King Lawler actually a heart attack.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
those just fake elbows. Like he wasn't really even connected for all of them. And you got this guy just taking shots to the chest like it's a gun to his face. Like ugh.
exactly. And it seems like he was giving it that extra oomph.
That is true. Now that I can agree with.
Next match, Hiroki Goto versus Sonata. The match lasted 20 minutes and 47 seconds, and Sonata won with a body press.
The sole survivor of Lij still rocking it. Sonata is that. Hi, buddy. Sorry, that's my son. He's awesome. Birthday. But Sonata, he's a good guy. He's one of those guys you can see him killing for a singles match. He could probably be good as a singles. Oh,
I
my
was kind of
buddy.
wishing that it was Evil, but like Sonata deserves this spot.
But Sonata also had a really good outing. So I mean, Evil drew it to a tie. Sonata took an L. So I kind of see where the balance goes with that, you know.
And it's
And Sonata could be the next Okada in a sense where good looking guy, a lot of like you could see his face on the magazines and the commercials in Japan, and so I could see him being that role.
and it's worth noting that Sonata lost to Goto in the G1 last year, so this was a little bit of redemption for him.
True, and possibly to build a rivalry once the G1 kicks off in July, because if I remember correctly, they're doing one in Dallas.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully there'll
so
be
they got
some
to make it
Japanese
all.
guys there.
What was that?
Hopefully there'll be some Japanese guys there.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Like you'd be surprised. They're going to show up and show out. It's going to be mostly Americans, but I can see the first couple rows being a couple of the Asian demographic that they're
No,
looking
I mean
for.
actually Japanese wrestlers. Because
Oh man, come on.
dude, the New Beginnings tour had no Asians on it. Not one.
Well, it wasn't. To me, it wasn't meant to make a big imprint like the first two. You know what I mean? The
The,
the, the first two were big deals, right? Like
it
the
don't
first
matter.
two.
When you pay to see New Japan, keyword Japan, you hope to see wrestlers from Japan that are from Japanese descent.
I get it, but I also get. I get your point, but I also see where they're trying to make an inroad without disrupting the big ship known as the WWE. You know what I'm saying? And this New Beginnings is not as big of as importance as the G1. You know what I mean?
Well,
Even when they did
they
the
had issues with the Japanese visas, which was the issue there. But still, they could have handled it a lot better. But that was another podcast for another time.
yeah, that's another one for another time. We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. But I see your point, but I also see New Japan's point as well.
All right, we're on to the second round. Yoshihashi versus Chase Owens. The match lasted 14 minutes and 10 seconds, and Yoshihashi won by karma.
Hmm. See, it's that thing. It's Yoshi. I, like we said earlier, where is he? They give Owens this test. He passes the test, and they don't really give him a chance to make the third round because everyone sees Chase as this lovable loser. I think if he went to the third round, he could have got a really good chance to get a feature and to show what he's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, the way I see it, like Chase Owens came in as the more of the favorite in this match because he got that win over Juice. But if Chase Owens won, it made Yoshihashi look like a loser. And if Yoshihashi won, it made Chase Owens look like a loser.
That's true, but I don't know. I personally,
It was like a no-win situation here.
a lose lose. Yeah, I get it, but if you're gonna go, don't half ass push someone. You know what I mean? It's either you're giving him that chance to get a rub and get in the ring with the real guy to show what he can do, or you don't. And that's what I felt what they were doing with Chase. It's you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
well, I guess they thought that maybe they gave him the win against Juice and they set up that match, so they're good. They'll send him off into the sunset. They'll push Yoshihashi a little further.
All right, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. But it would have been better if Chase won. But
Definitely.
I, I
I'm a Chase Owens fan, so I'm in Bullet Club, so I was pushing hard for Chase here.
I mean, I'm a Lij guy, and I still would like Chase to do it. I mean, how many times have I seen all those bloody tags, and you just see him take the pin
Yeah,
and get his ass kicked, and eventually you gotta let him get that comeuppance. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
one thing to look good in an 8-man tag. It's a whole different when you're in these big spots like a New Japan Cup
Well,
or a lightweight tournament or the G1. It's totally different.
even though
Because
the
the crowd,
match was 14 minutes, I still think he looked pretty good in it. And he had that his match with Juice was really good too. So I think he did showcase himself to an extent.
unless they're going with the route of let's not show too much too early, then I can understand. You know what I mean?
True.
Like I would get it if they do that. Like just show a little bit further and further each time, just to show that he's improving. I could definitely see that, but I felt
That
like
that would
considering
be
that they're
better.
losing a lot of people, this was a good time to put him as a player. But once again, he beat Juice. He's going to get the title shot, so he's going to get his chance to shine.
Yeah,
So I get it.
he'll get a showcase. Um, Next match, Tomohiro Ishii versus Taichi. The match went 22 minutes and 55 seconds, and Tomohiro won with a brainbuster.
Soldier keeps going,
Yeah, I
Mister.
mean, like, was there any other doubt that Tomohiro won this match?
Oh no, heavens no.
I
I
mean,
mean,
considering I didn't even want Taichi in the tournament, it's
in the first place,
yeah,
exactly.
it's
So
fitting that he lost in the second round.
well, in your case, he went 2 rounds too far because he shouldn't have even been in
Exactly.
the. He went too far. He went 2 rounds too far. First with the side up and then the first round. So he went too far in your book already.
Taichi, go home. Next
Oh,
match, Will Ospreay and Lance Archer. The match went 18 minutes and 8 seconds, and Will Ospreay won with Stormbreaker.
Osprey. Question: do you see a Osprey Ibushi finals?
No.
No.
Um, I think, well, they're on different sides, and he's gonna fight Okada in the next round. So
Right, and keep in mind, Okada already fought Osprey, but Osprey was a junior at the time. So
that would give the Osprey a major push if they give him a win over Okada.
because I
And I mean,
either
Okada
one of
is
those.
in a good position to, like, he could take these losses, but at some point he's going to have to come up again.
Right, and to me, Ibushi. I mean, it just depends on who you think Ibushi gains more by beating in the finals if he makes the finals. Do you think he gains more beating Okada, or do you think he gains more with Osprey? Would it make sense for two more faces, two newer faces, that
Well,
to try to build up your brand and get more people invested in different characters, or do you want to just stick with the old guard of of Okada and you know? So it just depends.
yeah, we'll cover that in a moment. Let's just get to the next match. Kazuchika
Next match.
Okada versus Mikey Nichols. The match lasted 17 minutes and 25 seconds, and Okada won with the Rainmaker. Mikey
Of
Nichols looked
course.
really good in this match.
Yeah, he did. I mean, but Okada's so good. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but
He's
Mikey,
just
he looked like a guy that had nothing to lose, and he really went for it, and you could see that
went out the
determination.
gate. Exactly. Like pretty much Hail Mary from jump. And that's a good thing. I mean,
It
when
told
you
a
see
good story.
a guy of his stature going against a guy of another stature, it's kind of like the David and Goliath, but in this case, Goliath wins, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean, granted, Okada makes everybody look good, but to me, it's just he's so good. He's just
he,
oh
he yeah, he gets good matches out of a lot of guys, and
right,
I don't think anybody like expected Mikey Nichols to win. But going back to that Chase Owens match, nobody expected him to win either.
exactly. So
Um, so yeah, it's going to the matches with on the 16th. And Tanahashi is gonna fight Taguchi. I don't think there's gonna be any controversy with that.
nope.
Ibushi versus ZSJ, Zack Sabre Jr.
We probably gonna be the match of the round. I would give him that. And
Probably,
and and that's a good thing with Ibushi because they're making him go through hell. He's going through hell.
but
Going through
last time
Naitos.
Ibushi wrestled Zack Sabre, Ibushi won. So and Zack Sabre Jr. usually doesn't lose to the same person twice, back to back.
Might have to make an exception because I find it hard seeing a back to back G1 winner.
New Japan Cup winner.
Oh no, sorry, New Japan. You're right.
Yeah.
So I kind of find it hard to see that. Like it's very rare. I
Well,
can see
not to
two and
win the
three
whole
years.
tournament, but to at least advance against Ibushi.
Right. I just don't. I mean, I don't see him losing it. I don't see Ibushi losing it. It
Well, let's say Tanahashi is not losing to Taguchi, so that gets him to the next round. He's either gonna fight Ibushi or Zack Sabre Jr. If Ibushi wins, it's a G1 rematch. If
same with the Saber. Same with Saber. So I mean,
um
it can't go wrong.
I'm put yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. beat Tanahashi the last time they wrestled. So
Exactly.
it could go either way though. If Tanahashi fights Zack Sabre, he's prompted to a win against Zack Sabre.
Right. Uh, unless we're thinking it wrong and Tanahashi's really the favorite. Considering that he beat Omega at his prime,
Yeah.
he's not out of the woods.
But they're going whoever wins this tournament fights Jay White at Madison Square Garden. And that
Right.
was the last championship
He
match
was
was
the last
Tanahashi
guy.
versus
Exactly.
Jay White.
So,
So would they want
exactly.
to go back to back Tanahashi Jay White or would they want somebody new?
See that's the question, and that's where you look at these names that are left, and you're going, where does it go? Okada Jay White, considering Okada was in chaos, kind of betrayed chaos.
Yeah.
You could go Ibushi, new guy, Omega friend, avenging Jay
And it is worth
White.
noting that Ibushi actually won this tournament around 3 to 4 years ago.
True, or Tanahashi, the guy going for his revenge for the title. I mean, you could go so many roads. That's the good thing about New Japan. It's so many roads, and you're like,
On
okay,
the 17th, Cabana is fighting Yano, and uh, I mean, Yano kind of makes more sense than Cabana,
mm-hmm.
and Suzuki is fighting Sonata. And
Now
Suzuki always gets the better of Sonata, so I'm thinking maybe Suzuki wins again.
I'm going Sonata. He's the lone soldier for Lij. So
And
they gotta make him look good.
that's true, but and you could make the case that Suzuki's beaten him like 3 times in a row at this point, so he's due a win. But Suzuki's so intense and Sonata's so tranquilo. It Suzuki would win every time, unless Sonata gets a lot angrier, a lot more aggressive in a short amount of time.
True, but Sonata's that guy that I think they could definitely put him as a main player. Uh, I don't see. It's a
Well,
coin flip, but I'm going with Sonata just because of it's a newer blood. It's a younger face. It's a better looking face. It's you know what I mean.
well,
I
if Yano wins his match against Cabana, he's either going to fight Suzuki or Sonata, who he has a history with both. Sonata being the guy that always wraps him into a ball and beats him, and Suzuki that guy that he
just beats
always
the hell
seems
out
to
of him.
take the best. But
Just
always beats Suzuki 8 out of 10 times.
exactly because it's the over aggressive guy. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah,
I, I,
um, so either like Ibushi, Sabre Jr., Tanahashi, they're either one of these three guys in the semifinals will either fight Suzuki or Sonata. And it would be amazing if Sonata made it that far, but nobody's going to question if Suzuki's there.
that's true, but if they're really trying to fill the gap as far as losing as many people as they did, it would make sense for Sonata just to give him that that exposure that he's probably gotten as a tag team and in the G1 and he's looked at that light, but to make him a serious contender for any singles match that he's in, it would make more sense for Sonata.
You're absolutely right about that. Uh, Now, second round matches. Ishii will be taking on Yoshihashi. So that's a chaos
Uh,
versus chaos match.
a chaos. And I unless Hashi pulls a miracle out of his arse, I don't see him beating Ishii.
I don't think
I
anybody
really
sees him
don't. I
winning.
really do not.
But keep in mind, I didn't think Yoshihashi could beat Nakanishi or Owens at this point.
That's true, but
So
it's
the next match,
Ishii. Though. It's
it, I have the same sentiment there. It's Ishii.
exactly it's Ishii.
Um,
Oh,
Okada is gonna fight Osprey, and whoever wins that match probably
making
is
the
gonna fight
finals.
Ishii.
I think whoever wins that match is making the finals.
Yeah, without doubt. Um, but like you said, if Osprey wins, then it would make sense that it's like Ibushi's trial by fire. Zack Sabre Jr., Tanahashi, and Osprey, all the guys he's lost to in the past 6 months.
Right. So
Okada, um, I'm not even sure Ibushi beat Okada. I would have to go back.
yeah, you have to look back. Did he? Have he ever beat Okada?
He didn't beat him in
Uh,
that 2 year span.
yeah, and I know in the G1 they were on opposite brackets, so
Yeah.
that could be a new match. Ibushi Okada.
Well, I know that Okada wrestled Ibushi, but I'm more than sure Okada won.
But it's that one thing that I kept telling you about. New Japan is really good at calling these matches back years or months down
Yeah.
the line, and they put that thought into it, which is really really great.
And I know like Okada Osprey's gonna probably make it to the finals. I'm gonna say Osprey. Um, I'm a big Ishii fan, so I'm kind of hoping like he makes the upset and makes it to the finals. Not win, but make it to the finals. That would be pretty incredible.
Well, that's unless they're going with your theory. If they're doing a New Japan card in America, they're gonna have Japanese stars, which means Okada is gonna.
Uh,
So it just depends. I mean, Jay White's already the American. He's the Gaijin. So it just depends on who is going to be the representative for Japan. So it's either Ibushi or Okada.
yeah, and it's worth noticing is if Ishii actually does by some miracle make it to the finals, he had a barn burner of a match with Ibushi in the G1.
Oh
So
yeah.
nobody's gonna be
Oh
mad if that's the main event of the
oh
finals.
yeah. And he had a really good match against Zack Saber in the when they did the U.S. Championship tournament. So yeah, he's good either way. But I just see. So to me, it would make sense if Okada or Ibushi did it because they're two of their most known stars. Ibushi being known from the cruiserweight tournament, and Okada's already kind of making inroads in here. Um, but
And you're
but
counting out Tanahashi really quickly here too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. In Tanahashi, he's got his inroads here. He's the John Cena of New Japan. Jesus Christ sakes. But it's got to be one of those three though. If you're going with a full Japanese star, and nothing says because you got to think Madison Square Garden, G1, New York City. It's like the wrestling mecca.
Yeah.
So it I could see Okada or Tanahashi, excuse me, getting the opportunity to main event in the G1 at that venue. So I could see those two. Or I could see Ibushi too, but mainly those two because they've done it all except that, right?
Yeah. Honestly,
So
all these guys, Ishii, Okada, Tana, Suzuki, even Sonata, I could see Jay White having a phenomenal match with any of these guys. I did not include Osprey in that because Jay White already beat him at the 47th anniversary show.
right. So either way, it'll be good, but you're trying to get the people the most bang for their buck, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking Okada or Tanahashi at that point.
exactly,
Bang for the buck.
that's exactly who I'm thinking. Okada Tanahashi. Even though it's said for Ibushi to be the favorite, falls short to either Okada or Tanahashi. He's either trips up in the semis or he trips up in the finals. Either way,
He could even lose to Zack Sabre Jr. on the 16th.
I don't see him losing to Zack Sabre Jr. Because it kind of gets him the. Because if he beats Zack Sabre, he's beating the reigning G1 champion.
But Zack Sabre Jr. is a diva, and he bitches and moans until he gets. They allow him to win.
True, but it would make more sense for if Ibushi wins, and because once if he gets that win against the reigning champ or the reigning New Japan Cup champ, it gives you that feeling that he's invincible, right? Up until he actually loses.
Oh, that's true.
So
I
so that's where you're looking at. It's kind of like how when Kenny Omega finally beat Okada and then fell short. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that, right? Like I could definitely see that booking coming down the line. Like him
Well,
beating Zack Sabre, everyone thinking, "Oh, he beat the defending champ. He's untouchable," and he trips up against Tanahashi or Okada. I could definitely see that happening.
those matches, those two matches are tomorrow, and we'll definitely cover it next week. Uh, it's soon to be revealed, and we'll wrap it up here. Yeah. Give give them your Twitter one more time, so everybody knows.
One more time, Twitter handle I am Coleco. Hit me up. Let me know if you like it, don't like it, what you liked about the discussion, didn't like about the discussion, what you agree with, disagree with. We could chit chat about it. Hey, but it's all civil. It's all wrestling, right?
Exactly. Well, uh, if you like the if you like the video, like what we're talking about, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We might even chat over there.
Oh yeah, I'm always down for the banter because the one thing we love is it's that it's what connects everyone, right? The one
Exactly.
thing.
We two strangers talking about wrestling, and we could probably go another like 4 or 5 hours just talking about professional wrestling.
Of course, because trust me, I've talked with 5-year-olds about how they shouldn't like John Cena, but that's either here nor there.
That is a lost cause, man. You should not tell 5-year-olds not to like John Cena.
Oh no! I tell them to like the character. It's the man that's the problem.
Alright, uh, with that, I've been James J. You've been Kaliko.
Coleco
Oh, and this is Wrestling Wit.
Entertainment.
Dude, you stole my line.